I suppose it's really important to track what has been done to repair some of the damage from the July riots in KZN and in Gauteng this time last year. And that's because the extent of the damage was pretty brutal. I mean, it stretched into the tens of billions of rands. The National Empowerment Fund, however, along with the Department of Trade, Industry and Commerce, as well as the Solidarity Fund, provided just over R1 billion towards the post-unrest recovery. And to discuss how impactful that money was, I'm joined by Nomazizi Siphondo, the Senior Investment Associate at Umnotho Fund at the NEF. We went to school together. We did, right?
We did. I was telling my colleague that it's going to be interesting to be interviewed by someone I went to school with. But yeah,
this is a wonderful throwback.
Hopefully,
this is a wonderful. It's a wonderful throwback. It's good to catch up with you. So okay, so tell us what has been done. I mean, you guys provided support of around R1 billion towards the repair efforts. Can you tell us how that support was distributed, I mean, between the businesses that received it?
Yes, thanks, Fifi. So, following the unrest, the NEF, in partnership with the Solidarity Fund as well as the PTIC, they basically set up a fund of about R1 billion. And that fund was basically just to assist the businesses that have been affected in KZN and Gauteng. So we set up, they assembled teams at the NEF, and everyone was sent out to some regions in KZN and Gauteng. It was basically to find the businesses that have been affected. So we helped by media, some of the videos that were in the media, as well as the stories that people were posting. And we were also assisted by the provincial government, giving us a list of businesses that have been affected. So you would get down there and you would basically assist the businesses to package the applications, send them to head office for execution within a very short turnaround time.
Mm-hmm. And what's the state of some of those businesses now?
We've had a lot of success stories actually. So it was very crucial for us that the businesses be able to reemploy some of the employees that had been retrenched as a result of the unrest. And we're happy to report that some of the businesses that come back looking for additional funding to expand. So they were able to reemploy the employees, but are now doing much better. I think, us being able to just get down there as fast as possible and to deploy the funds as quickly as possible, and also just to every single business regardless of race, was really, really helpful. And now we're seeing growth. So what the NEF does is we place associates to monitor the investments, and the report back that we're getting is that, things are looking up. The guys are, they're expanding, they're opening up. And, it's positive stories all around.
Yeah. And, I mean, I'm glad that you mentioned the issue of additional funding, to say that some businesses are even coming back, to ask for more help. And just given the fact that the the value of the damage just runs so large. And so I'm wondering if, there are any talks happening behind the scenes there at the NEF about maybe putting together more to direct towards relief efforts?
We'd really love more support, of that nature, because we saw the impact that this fund had. Right now, the answer regarding setting up a similar fund, because everyone's obviously hoping that this doesn't happen again. But in terms of just making funding available in general through many of our other products, the NEF does have other products. So we're looking at deploying more funds into those businesses so that they can expand. Obviously pricing them better, using third-party funding as well as some of our concessionary funding products to basically get the businesses to a stage where they can grow. So a similar fund, not so much. However, we're making funding available to those businesses and other businesses that could be looking for expansion funding.
Yeah, I mean, so it was pretty rough for the province of KZN because just as a lot of these businesses were recovering from the impact of the riots, and then the floods happened, and a lot of them got set back again. And I know we're talking about the recovery related to the unrest, but I'm just wondering if you guys are working on anything related to the flooding.
I know government has set up some funding to assist businesses. However, as an NEF, we don't have a specific fund for that. But what the NEF was able to do on its own is just humanitarian work. So again, we send people down to give it into assist, with, just, helping the families that have been affected. However, in terms of a separate fund, right now, we do not have that facility.
Okay. But, I mean, I know your mind and you're on top of everything. You have always been from varsity days. And you know that the bigger picture of the economy is pretty bleak right now. And I'm just wondering what you guys are doing or thinking of doing in terms of the broader support that is needed for a lot of these small businesses that are trying to get back on their feet following the knockback from the pandemic. So just talk to us about how you're envisioning your role in supporting the post-COVID-19 recovery for a lot of small businesses.
Thank you so much for that question. I think it gives me a chance to talk about some of the newer products at the NEF. So yes, we've closed the funds now, but we've also introduced some other funds and products. The NEF has set up, the Black Business Manufacturing Fund. We've got the WEF Fund, which is a fund that's been set up for women-owned businesses in townships and villages. We've also got, these products that we have. We've got some of the regional funds. So the difference between those funds, those newer funds that we have, and the traditional NEF products is pricing and concessionary. So pricing is really relatively low, usually between 1.5% fixed to 2.5% fixed. And, you've got moratorium. So we've introduced, affordable funding, and the turnaround times are much shorter. And we basically just allowing more businesses to come to us because we go out there to find businesses now. We did have a COVID fund that we fully utilized. However, we've got these newer products that are looking at funding businesses that could be struggling in manufacturing, counter businesses, in retail, in property, as well as some regional funding out of Gauteng, some Northern Cape-based businesses, Limpopo, all these other regions that do struggle with access funding. We are now setting up concessionary funding to attract entrepreneurs in those areas. So we do have new products, and that encourage people to visit our website to look at some of the new products and changes that we're making to assist the NEF.
Good to know. I imagine that you guys have your work cut out for you because a lot of assistance is needed out there. Nomazizi, really good to catch up with you. Nomazizi Siphondo. I used to call her Zizi, but we're professionals now, so we'll go by the full name. Nomazizi Siphondo, the Senior Investment Associate at Umnotho Fund for the NEF.